Welcome to the New Year's edition of Dagnabbit, boys.
It's just absolutely ridiculous for a guy like me
A very serious-faced guy.
to wear a headband like this.
Well, it makes it seem like you're happy about the New Year's when both of us know you couldn't give a goddamn.
Everybody knows the New Year's could never penetrate our sardonic wit. And that's why doing this bit is really funny.
Yes.
And nobody's ever done it.
So, since we were talking about sardonic wit, we could talk about the funniest man in history, Winston Churchill.
Oh
We were
my
discussing.
God. If there is nobody more cutting than Winston Churchill, any true comic knows that Winston Churchill had
He
the
would
greatest
kill
way
on a
with
roast battle.
Oh my God, he was he was impenetrable. Yeah, you have to. I don't know what that like. What is that like? Is it? I mean,
It's just Marvel. He's like doing like Marvel quips.
Yeah, is he just Deadpool? is Winston Churchill just like Deadpool for like 60+ idiots? Is that all it is?
Just like British guys. You can say the word. Oh wait, we're a couple minutes in, so probably don't say the word.
Yeah, I think it's just. Apparently YouTube doesn't know if you have sex with men or not. YouTube doesn't know if it's socially acceptable for you to say that word. So I think for YouTube, it's better to censor ourselves.
All right.
But Winston Churchill wouldn't.
No, Winston Churchill would just let it rip.
Man, that guy, people would be like, it's going to rain today. And he'd be like, I'd rather it rain than pour. And then people would be like, right. But I'm not poor.
Yeah.
I'm rich in spirit. And people would be like, holy fucking shit.
Oh, you've done it again, Mr. Churchill.
Do you think he was just the only guy that would like not speak literally at that time? Like it's just in the 50s and it's just like a scary time and everybody's like, God, I'm so scared. And he's like, I'd rather be spared.
Yeah.
And they're like, whoa.
Yeah. Okay.
You're not talking about beans?
Maybe he was the first. Do you think he was the first guy to ever do the whole like, I have ADHD, so I need a concentration camp?
That would be funny. If
yeah,
he
was the very first guy to do it.
It would be funny if there was like, yeah, because it's while the Holocaust was happening, and he was like, a concentration camp sounds good for an unruly boy. And everybody's like, wait, what? And he's like, I was making a joke. And they're like, ah, man, that's not going in the book. I feel like there's a lot of...
The Holocaust is happening right now. That's not going to be funny for another 5 years.
He's just in 5 years is all it took. I do, yeah, it is funny to imagine that, like, there's a lot of his
Do you think there
quips.
was a goofy guy at the liberation of Dachau? Like, he had Groucho Marx. He put on Groucho Marx glasses and stuff.
I feel like there are stories from the Holocaust of, like, people in camps using humor to get through it, which just seems like such a tough tightrope to walk, to be like, should I use humor now? After the gas chambers, or in 2 days should I use you? Because I feel
it's like we don't know whether or not we're walking into a shower or a gas chamber. Is it time for a laugh right now?
I mean, I think like being in the camps is just like a hyper version of when you're at work and you're like, doesn't work sucks, and kind of anything you say about work is funny.
They're just like, oh man, I hate Mondays in the Holocaust.
Yeah,
Mondays is the worst day for being in the Holocaust.
And then some guy's like, and Tuesdays, and then everybody's like, and Wednesdays,
yeah,
and every day,
and then they're all executed,
and then they all die
because they smiled,
but they have a laugh before. It would be funny if like, yeah, it would be funny if Winston Churchill was just like an autistic guy who like some of his stuff was clever, but some of it was just like really kind of offensive, sarcastic, like quippish stuff, and they're like, oh man, that was a miss.
What were autistic guys into back then?
Carving up Africa.
Oh, okay.
You know, I don't know. I mean, I think they would like, I don't know, I feel like probably Tesla and stuff. I feel like literally back then when there wasn't like just like TV shows to hyperfixate on, they would do stuff with their hands. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if, like, Nikola Tesla and, like, some of those guys that... Well, you just hear about all those guys back then who were, like, they focused on one thing their whole life, and you're like, well, maybe that was just an autistic guy.
Do you think people were really annoyed at them? Like, these fucking annoying guys always talking about science.
Yeah.
Like, the way we talk about people talking about anime.
Yeah, I mean, back then, with, like, no explanation for what autism is, I think people were probably just like, why does this guy care about fucking plants so much? Or like, why does he keep trying to
invent a coil?
Yeah, what?
Interesting.
All this guy
Who
talks about
gives
is
a shit.
I don't fucking care. I have gangrene. I have so much gangrene
I
all
have
over
10
my body.
kids, 9 of them died.
I'm the tetanus patient 0. I'm the first guy with tetanus.
Why do I care? I'm Typhoid Mary. Why are you talking to me, Typhoid Mary?
I mean, yeah, it must have been hard at that point to like make people excited about even life-changing inventions where like Nikola Tesla's like, you can carry electricity through the air and with wires and you can have lights in your home. And it just sounds like magic to them probably.
And they're just like, yeah, but television's not invented yet.
They're like, Hitler's trying to kill us. I mean, he was before, but you get it.
And they're
Was
like,
he?
hey, will you invent The Sopranos so we have something to do with all the whites in our house?
We would like to watch The Sopranos. It's great that we don't have candles anymore, but I'd like to watch The Sopranos, and I'd like to microwave my food. Have you invented that yet? Then no thank you, Nicola. Go die in obscurity. Even though now the whole world uses his stuff.
I don't.
That you do. I'm using it right now.
I am not. I use Edison shit.
This is all his stuff. You use Edison. What is it like? What are the 2 different circuits?
I use Edison's one, and I also kill elephants because it's awesome.
It would be funny if you were an Edison head, so you used his form of electricity that was like way more unsafe and like really not easy to use. And you're just constantly shocking yourself, and you're like, I still like him.
He was my guy.
Nikola was a bullshitter. I'm all Edison. I ain't getting on that board. It's like the guy that refuses to get a smartphone, but just with like one-way electricity or whatever the fuck it was. Yeah, I don't know.
But yeah, Winston Churchill, honestly, if a guy tried to be witty that way, I feel like people would want to fight him.
I don't know what the modern equivalent of that is. I guess it's like literally maybe like
autistic people, like literally autistic humor.
Yeah, is it just like autistic guys that wear fedoras?
Like the way they're funny.
Yeah.
Imagine like Winston Churchill trying to roast and there's a bunch of black people around. Like would like what would they'd be like, damn, Winston, you got him.
I think on the first one they'd be like, okay. And then on the third one where he's just like, you can turn the light on with your mind before the switch. And they're just like, shut the fuck up. Shut up.
Are we about to rob Winston Churchill?
Are we about to kill Winston Churchill because he won't shut the fuck up?
Them some nice shoes, Winston.
We're the first free black men in England, and we might have to kill Winston Churchill just for all this fucking mess he's talking. Can you stop being sardonic, please? The Nazis are trying to kill us. This is not the time. Did he come up with keep calm and carry on? Do you think that was him? Because I know that's a British thing during the Nazi time.
I don't know. It sounds like some shit a woman came up with.
Kind of a pessimistic thing to say at that time, I feel like.
It sounds kind of girly to me.
Just like you're getting, like, the Nazis are doing air raids all over England, and they're like, keep calm and carry on. You're like,
go to the pub.
I guess that's what you'd like us to do.
You'd like us to go to the pub and... Isn't it weird how fat British people are? Like, the fattest British guys? Like, have you seen those, like, working-class British guys who just eat mush, and then they're huge?
Yeah. We talked about this on the last episode. They're just these mush heads. They got huge heads, and they're fat and gross, and then they're like...
And they're kind of awesome.
Stupid Americans. Hopefully they like us. I mean, there's this one guy on Instagram, Big John, that his, like, the last video I saw is just like, Big John orders 100 cheeseburgers from McDonald's.
Yeah.
And then he, like, is at some, like, family Christmas party and takes off his shirt, and he's, like, the kind of fat where, like, none of it sags even. It's like he's filled out all his skin. He almost has, like, pecs of, like, fat, which is kind of like, they are, like, an old-timey fat that I feel like you haven't seen since the 20s, where people are like, look at that round man. Like, we have dragging fat in America. We have people whose, like, half of their stomach is in their pants. But over there, they're, like, just these, like, booming figures.
They're also all, like, 3 feet tall, too.
Are they short in England?
I mean, all the poor people are... poor people in general are short. I feel like that's a good way to know if... I think I was talking to somebody about this, that, like, you can tell, like, a tall white guy, you're like, unless he has, like, really shitty tattoos, he's from a well-off family.
Yeah, if he has, like, possibly bleached hair.
Yeah.
And, like, really shitty tattoos, like a couple on the face.
Yeah.
But otherwise, he's probably from a good family.
Yeah, because I mean that's how they they bred people that way.
Look at our tall son who will kill a girl in the Skull and Bones Society. Good. Yeah, that's so wild to me, the way... I mean, just the way it still happens, where, like, the Bush family is, like, just this lineage of people who have, like, married into power and then, like, gotten into, like, a secret society at Yale, which feeds you into the CIA, and, like, how you'll kind of train your son to do that. Which is also crazy. Like, I want my son to be in the Skull and Bones Society. Like, chances are they'll, like, make him fuck a dead body of, like, you know, the principal of the college's dead wife, or you know what I mean? Like, it's kind of weird.
You have to stick the bone up your ass.
Yeah, it's like almost a form of, like, selling your kid into slavery, but in reverse. Where it's like, to become one of these evil owners, he also has to be ingratiated into these dark societies where they, like, you know, just make you do something awful.
And then you become an alcoholic for years, and then you become president.
Yeah, I mean, literally.
That's crazy. If you become an alcoholic and you're not in a wealthy family, you lose years of your life. If you become an alcoholic in a wealthy family, you're just on vacation. This is just a transitionary period for you to become in power.
Yeah, I wonder if Hunter Biden will ever have a political career.
Probably not.
He's got a pretty rough rap.
Yeah.
But it is interesting that, yeah, it's like he can, like, smoke crack and get drunk and hang out with hookers. And it's like he does get a lot of shit from the nation, of course, which is way different than anybody else. But if he was poor, he probably would have just died.
Oh, yeah.
But now he gets to, like, write a best-selling book.
If he was poor, he maybe wouldn't be that much of a degenerate.
Yeah, there's definitely a chance of that. I mean,
his dad, Biden, probably finger fucked him when he was a kid.
He's got a bad mix of, like, horrific family death and, like, literal trauma mixed with, like, being the son of a very powerful man, which kind of just sets you up to smoke crack.
Yeah.
That's always the thing with people being like, can you believe your kids are...
It's so old school, too, to smoke crack.
I think that's kind of why people like him.
Yeah.
Because it's like, damn, he's smoking crack? That's
what is
wild.
This, the 80s?
Yeah, nobody's even smoking crack anymore, and he's out there smoking crack. He's, like, in flotation tanks smoking crack. I think he posted a video of him, like, naked, which is normal, in one of those sensory deprivation tanks, like, smoking crack. Smoking crack in a sensory deprivation tank is crazy.
I hate that photo. I mean, have we talked about this on the podcast before about how I think that the photo of him with the meth pipe in his mouth is staged?
How so?
I think...
Like, it's a doctored photo?
No, I think probably what happened... Here's my theory. I think he was fucking some woman, and she, like, while he's asleep, she put a meth pipe in his mouth and took a picture.
Are his eyes open?
His eyes are closed. He's asleep.
Oh. And it's supposed to be like this guy fell asleep with a meth pipe in his mouth?
Yeah.
I don't think anyone's ever done that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's like some absolute scum of the earth just fucked him so she can get a picture of that and sold it to the media.
Or chances are she worked for the media.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, if you're a guy like that who people kind of know that you smoke meth, then...
Well, he said about it, that picture's fake because I smoke crack, not meth.
Okay, that is a really honest answer. And
then we still use the photo like it's real.
Yeah, that's a very believable answer. Yeah, I mean, with a guy like him, if they know that you're a drug user and you, like, fuck hookers and you're, like, the son of the president, then they're like, well, this is the easiest target in all of politics. Because it's like, they blackmail every president. Like, every intelligence every intelligence organization will just, like, bug all the presidents and the congressmen, and they have dirt on all of them, and they just approach them with that dirt. And then they're like, okay, so you're...
And they're like, bad news, you just made child pornography.
Yeah. Like, I don't know how it is now, but it's like, I remember, like, watching a thing where they're just talking about, like, in the early days of the OSS and when intelligence corps were, like, popping up, that, yeah, it's like congressmen would walk down the street and they would just be like, hey, I'm sorry about that fight you had with your wife last night. It's like some guy you've never met. And you're like, what? And it's just like, just them just telling you, like, yeah, we, like, totally have you. Because that's why intelligence organizations are so cool or so good at what they do. Because they're like, well, this guy has the most power, so we just get a little bit of blackmail on him, then we have the most power.
Yeah.
We have more power. So it's like, why they would ever stop doing that when they can't really be stopped beats me.
Yeah.
So obviously you have somebody like Hunter Biden, and they're like, okay, well, this is like a good starter case for a new CIA agent. Like, this is the easiest guy ever. Go find any prostitute and just tell her to fuck this guy, and then just give us a picture of him with a meth pipe.
But they're also too stupid to do the research to know he's not a meth head, he's a crackhead.
Yeah, well, that's kind of famous for the CIA. They put a lot of effort into stuff, and then they're kind of like bumbling idiots.
Yeah.
Where they're like, we're going to reshape this whole regime, and then they're like, we fucked it up.
Oh, we put a banana in his mouth instead of a meth pipe.
Yeah, they just fuck up an entire country. Like, fuck, we replaced him with Goofy from the Goofy movie.
Oh, great. We have a picture. Oh, great. The prostitute had sex with Goofy from the Goofy movie and put a meth pipe in his mouth. And now we look like dumbasses.
We told...
Oh, great. That brilliant franchise is now over.
Oh, wonderful. You ruined a franchise that everybody loves. Because instead of fucking Hunter Biden, you fucked Pauly Shore. Great. Way to go. We don't
care that you thought he was sexy.
We don't need dirt on Pauly Shore. We all like him. He's a beloved American actor.
He was on MTV.
He was, this is a CIA agent saying this to a prostitute. He was MTV.
There would be no MTV if it wasn't for Pauly Shore.
There would be no MTV without Pauly Shore. He was absolute cornerstone of the 80s.
You like Beavis and Butthead? We'll say goodbye to Beavis and Butthead.
And he won't fuck kids, so he's useless to us. We don't need him. He's just a beloved actor. He won't have sex with children, but Hunter Biden will. And you need to find a kid to fuck him. Stop fucking Pauly Shore and sending us pictures of it. We don't need those.
Stop sending us pictures of you doing bunny ears behind Pauly Shore's head.
That is cute.
That is not what we're asking.
Stop going on these cute-ass dates with Pauly Shore. Why are you doing this? This isn't usable intel at all.
Oh, great. You're married to Pauly Shore, and you say you'll be faithful to him. Great. We have to find another prostitute.
Great. We find another prostitute. God damn it, she's dating Jeff Garlin now. Why is she dating Jeff Garlin?
Stop dating beloved entertainers.
We can't use Jeff Garlin. There's nothing we can do with Jeff. God damn it. Why are they on a date with Larry David? Why? He's one of America's greatest comedy writers. Everybody loves Curb, and now you're fucking him? What are we going to do with that? We can't send him to Israel?
Oh, great. You and Mike Judge are now boyfriend and girlfriend.
Great.
Interesting.
Way to go. Way to go. That's really what we needed.
Yeah.
No, that's what we wanted, for sure. For
Stop.
you...
we keep trying to hire these Hollywood prostitutes, and they keep going for beloved comedy writers.
You told me you had intel, and then you came back and just posted a picture of you sharing a creme brulee with Kevin Smith. Can you explain that?
You and Kevin Smith were watching the Larry Sanders Show.
Why are you in the original Clerks costumes in Kevin Smith's room? Does this make any sense to you? Does this make any sense? We can't send him to Syria. He's useless to us.
All he's good for is making more movies in the View Askew universe.
It is funny just to imagine like a CAA hired sex worker just going rogue. But like it doesn't do anything important where it's like, why'd you fuck Jeff Goldblum?
Oh great. Great. She has a bunch of trivia about The Fly. That's not the intel we wanted.
Okay, that's cool.
We did not need to know what it was like to work for David Cronenberg. You got us an interview with Jeff Goldblum, which is cool, which we love, this is not good for us.
This is an hour of what it was like to be on the set of Jurassic Park 1, which is cool, but this doesn't help us get Bashar al-Assad back in power. This doesn't help us at all. Does he like Jeff Goldblum? No, I don't understand why you did this.
We told you to go to Banana Republic, but you just started dating Woody Allen.
You dated Woody Allen, and you
asked him about the movie Bananas,
and you got him shirt at Banana Republic that he looks really nice in. Way to go!
Oh, great! You actually got evidence that Woody Allen's innocent.
Oh,
that's
great.
actually the opposite of what we wanted.
Did you really just put Woody Allen in an age-appropriate relationship? Are you fucking stupid? He was an asset. That guy was an asset. You just ruined him. You made him not a pedophile. Are you kidding me?
Oh, great. Woody Allen's going on he's going on the TV to admit everything, and also he's giving a bunch of names of people up. Oh, great. We were supposed to blackmail all those people.
Well, I'm fired. Well, I'm probably going to be fired now because Woody went to the media. Way to go. Thanks for changing Woody. Oh, great.
Now there's no pedophiles in Hollywood. Awesome.
Oh, no, I love that. No, I absolutely love that.
I don't know if you can tell. I'm being sarcastic right now.
I'm being very sarcastic right now.
Hey, read my T-shirt. I speak fluent sarcasm.
Are you telling me you convinced Dan Schneider to stop fucking kids? Are you fucking kidding me?
Oh, great. Oh, great. Dan Schneider is dating a 50-year-old woman who looks kind of like him.
Oh, wonderful.
Great.
Dan Schneider's in an age-appropriate relationship, and the public has actually forgiven him for his actions. Way to go.
Oh, great. He's making another Nickelodeon show. Oh, great. He's made Nickelodeon millions.
And everybody loves it.
Oh, great. And all the stories from the set are all about what a nice guy he is.
Why do these sex workers keep getting in loving relationships with beloved Hollywood actors, writers, and producers? This isn't what we need. Girl, will you stop sucking Tyler Perry's dick?
Oh, great. Oh, great. She's dating Tom Cruise, and now Scientology's finished. Oh, great. Destroyed Scientology. That was one of the things we had.
We told you to fuck somebody in Israel's Ministry of Defense, and you decided to go fuck Channing Tatum, which is cool for you, but not good for us.
I love Magic Mike, too.
Magic Mike 2 was awesome, but we're trying to get into Syria. Are you an idiot? Are you going to fuck Al-Jilani or not? You need to go over to Syria and fuck Al-Jilani because he's not doing what we wanted him to do. I mean, he's being nice to Israel, but he needs to do more, and you're not fucking him. You just keep fucking beloved Hollywood actors, such as Pauly Shore.
Great. Now you're in a loving relationship with Seth Rogen, and you have convinced him to get back into directing, and he has directed 3 comedy classics.
Oh, so he's going back to his silly high school-based Hollywood comedy antics. Great.
Great. They're making a lot of money. Oh, great. The modern comedy film was back. Oh, great.
We wanted you to fuck Al-Jilani, and you fucked Pauly Shore. Why did you think that was what we wanted?
Oh, great. You're fucking Steven Spielberg, and now he's changed Hollywood, so there's no more spin-offs or sequels. Now it's all original IPs.
Oh, great. Steven Spielberg has revived the movie industry with original writing. Way to go. Just what we needed. So we're not going to get Grown Ups 8. Thanks a lot. We're not getting Grown Ups 8 anymore because of you. You dumb fucking asshole.
Oh, great. Mature films for adults.
Oh, so we're really not.
No more Marvel movies. Okay.
So there's never going to be another Little Mermaid again. Way to go. Captain America is not going to get another movie. Great.
Oh, great. All the movies are about how imperialism is bad.
So you're telling me that the movies are now written by young, diverse writers, actors, and directors, and they're about the current state of affairs, and that people really relate to them and finally feel like the movie industry is an honest industry that is reflecting the way that people feel.
Oh, great. Now,
do you know how much that sucks for us?
Oh, this is so bad. Now they want to have a communist. They want a communist America. They've officially made change in America, thanks to you.
Thanks a lot. They made a Squid Games type show that talked about capitalism, and now people are actually thinking about it. And it seems like we're going to have a third-party socialist president with most of the votes next year. Because you decided to fuck Pauly Shore instead of just fucking Al-Jilani or Bashar al-Assad like we asked you to. Why was that so hard? We gave you the plane tickets to Russia, and somehow you met Pauly Shore.
You took Pauly Shore to Russia. Now the Ukrainian war is over. He did a couple voices from a Goofy movie to Putin, and Putin was so delighted, he decided there needs to be peace.
Pauly Shore has been brought to the Kremlin to do a few lines from the Goofy movie. And then 2 hours later, there's a guy outside. He's like, we're getting reports that Putin was delighted. Putin was absolutely delighted by the incomparable charm of America's own Pauly Shore, one of our greatest, most likable performers that everybody still holds in their hearts, even though it's not his heyday. Pauly Shore has ended the Russia-Ukraine war.
You know how many questions I get about Pauly Shore, ever since started working at the Comedy Store? My parents are like, he knows Pauly Shore.
Of course.
They're like, what's Pauly Shore like? And I'm like, he's nice.
Yeah, I mean,
he's a nice guy.
I mean, I understand his fame, but obviously we weren't around for it. But you got to realize, our parents, Pauly Shore is one of the most famous people ever.
Yeah.
It's one of the most famous people possible. That's why, if I can try and impress my family at all, it's like I open for Pauly Shore. That's like the most recognizable person I can
knew
mention.
who Pauly Shore was when I was a child.
Yeah.
I didn't know who a lot of actors were. I knew who Pauly Shore was.
Yeah. He's just like one of those famous people that you just know. He just is famous. And it's like, you know why he's famous, because of the movies and the TV and everything. But when you first find out about him, it's like Santa.
Yeah.
Where you're just like, yeah, there's God, there's Jesus, there's Santa, there's Pauly Shore, there's Mickey Mouse.
Yeah.
Like his fame like precedes him. He's that big. And it's like everybody else I've opened for, I have to like explain who they are.
Yeah.
People with like Netflix specials or who are on like very successful TV shows that maybe even in the current age are like a little more like on the rise. It doesn't matter at all. They don't know any of those people.
Yeah.
And even like you think about it, it's like if you go to your parents and you say like Andrew Schultz, Shane Gillis, even Bobby Lee, Andrew Santino, there's like top 4 highest earning. Nate Bargatze,
Yeah.
highest earning comic this year.
My parents know who Nate Bargatze is, though.
Tennessee.
Yeah.
Mine don't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where it's just like, it's that kind of thing where like, if you go to your parents and you're like, Joe Coy, Sebastian Maniscalco, Nate Bargatze, they'd be like, who are those people? And you're like, they made a combined like $500 million off stand-up this year.
My mom put on a Taylor Williamson special one time, and then I remember I think I was visiting for Christmas one year. She decided to put on a Taylor Williamson, who's the woman? Taylor Williamson's Tomlinson. She put on a Taylor Tomlinson special. And I remember, like, midway through, she came in and was like, can you put on something good?
Damn.
And then I put on, what's her name? Michelle Wolf. And then she really liked Michelle Wolf.
Interesting. Yeah. I mean, especially anybody that were like, I mean, that's the thing about being so into stand-up is there's like some people who are like, the industry really loves and pushed them. And I think Taylor's very funny, but she's also one of those people that like immediately, like she's hardworking and she's young, you know, she puts out a lot of material and she's like, has like a star power. So she's somebody that gets picked up early.
Yeah.
And like when you're in stand up, you're like, man, like those people are really popping off. But then you talk to like your parents and like, I don't know who that is.
What comedian is always dependable is, if my family wants to watch comedy, is Jeselnik. They love Jeselnik.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, I think even my mom, who's like not, I think, a dark humor person, if I put him on, I think she would just laugh.
Yeah.
Because it's just like he's just telling objectively good jokes.
Yeah.
So I think that's the kind of thing.
I mean, my mom loves that sort of comedy. Like, we used to watch, like, the fucking, what's it called, Eastbound and Down and shit when I was a teenager together. She loved that. She loves, like, anything incredibly vulgar and, like, lowbrow. And I do, too, so.
I don't even know what my mom thinks is funny. I think the funniest thing to her is, like, black women. Just, like, she said it before. She's like, black people are so funny. She's like, they're just so much funnier than us. And it is a thing that comics say.
Yeah.
Of, like, yeah, it's obvious that black people are naturally more funny than white people.
Do you think that is because of the whole...
thing that happened?
Yeah, all that stuff that happened.
I think all that stuff that happened has a lot to do with it.
I do think, like, going through a lot of struggle does make you, like, not even necessarily funnier, but just more confident.
Yeah, and I think also, like, any kind of struggle, like, if the world is, like, against you, or at the very least not supporting you, then what's important is to build up a self-esteem and just a sense of self and a personage. You know what I mean? Because it's like, if your material is stripped from you, what you still have is yourself.
Yeah.
And so I think that's why, like, people who have gone through that, not only black people in America, but just anybody, usually has a very strong sense of self, because that's, like, kind of all you have. That's like what Camus talks about.
Yeah.
Like, being in the cell, being like, I'm still who I am and I'm still more free, even if they take all of this from me, like, they can't take this from me.
Yeah.
And you just don't have to think about that if you live a life of, like, privilege. That's why so many rich people, like, their entire personality is just, like, what they buy. Consumerism.
Yeah, I guess they say the three models of comedy in America is black, Irish, and Jewish.
Yeah. And they all have their separate struggles.
Yeah.
So it's like, and also just like, I think, especially if you're talking about stand-up, it's like you kind of have to take pride in what you're saying and what you're doing. And you have to have like a sense of yourself before the audience knows you. So like all of those things would lend to it.
Yeah. But that's the episode. Nah, I'm joking. What were we talking about? We talked about something before. Oh, wait. We need to talk about the cigarette thing.
Yeah. So let me know how that went. Let the audience know
I'm
what you did for New Year's. This is Shane's New Year's Eve spectacular.
Yeah, I filmed a something that's literally probably never been done before. I did something that's probably never been done.
Kind of in the likes of Evel Knievel.
Definitely.
Or like the moon landing.
Something like that, yes. Evel Knievel is definitely something I would compare.
Do you think people watched you doing this the way humanity watched the moon landing? Where they were like, is he going to pull it off? Has this happened? What's going to change after this?
I think it was probably a little bit higher than maybe that. Is maybe a little bit, but I'll say what happened. So, last night at midnight, I smoked 5 cigarettes at once.
And has anyone called this a hoax yet? Has anyone said that the footage is doctored or that it couldn't be a real photo? Have they talked
Somebody
about...
accused me of using AI. I did not. So I'll explain the whole situation.
Yeah, explain it, because obviously they can't even comprehend what you're saying.
I asked permission from the person whose yard I was using. I would like to shout out Adam Sloves. Thank you for providing the set.
So he said it was okay.
He said it was okay.
How'd you ask him?
I messaged him. I informed him I will be smoking 5 cigarettes tonight.
What did he say?
And he said, okay.
Okay, cool.
And then I asked him to film it.
Some people are afraid of greatness.
So I get there around 9. I explained it to Adam for maybe an hour.
Which is when the party started, so there's probably not a lot of people there.
Well, there was not a lot of people there.
It was like you and... Did a lot of people show up at least?
Yeah, there's a decent amount. Some people I didn't know also were there to watch. Also,
and you didn't like that?
No, I mean, there's some people I didn't know, and they showed up to watch.
Interesting that they would show up when they don't know you.
Yeah, I don't get it, but whatever.
Yeah,
weird.
So
around 11 o'clock, our friend Josh Ogle gets there. He is a lawyer.
Now 2 hours have passed.
2 hours have passed. I've explained to multiple people. I've asked many people to give speeches.
Is that most of what you're talking about at the party?
Yes.
Like are you just kind of walking into conversations of some people you don't know and just sort of declaring, I will be smoking 5 cigarettes at midnight if you want to make any speeches? Did you meet anybody for the first time by telling them that?
Yes. But shout out to Nick.
This is a new guy?
Yes, this is a new guy. He was very impressed. But
he was blown away.
Wait. I also met a guy who Shane William. For those of you who don't know, my name is William Shane. Shout out to Shane William. This is 100% true. I did meet a guy who had reverse name.
Okay, so he had reverse name syndrome.
Yeah, so...
but he was impressed by the 5 cigarettes?
Our lawyer friend, Josh Ogle, did draw me out a will.
On his phone?
No, on a piece of paper. I signed it.
You got him to find a pen and paper to do this?
Yes, he drew out a will.
Okay.
I gave up all of my possessions. I gave Terrence Pennington my chain. I gave Josh Ogle my jokes. So if I had died during which I had made out the will because if I smoke 5 cigarettes, that could be a very dangerous thing to do at once. So
yeah, so you thought this may result in death.
Yes, so I needed to do that. So at around 12, I made it. I signed it. I gave the rest of my possessions to the McDonald's Corporation.
And what we talked about that a little bit at breakfast before this. It's not to go to any of McDonald's charities, but to the corporation.
They're doing a great job.
What do you want them to do with it?
Just add it to their money.
Like in the headquarters, like in the offices, just kind of display your stuff.
Yeah,
like you're some famous like artist, or like have your jacket
they
in
can
a
have my
frame.
Jacket. They can have my Comedy Store jacket on the wall.
Okay, at McDonald's.
Yes.
Okay.
So around 12:10, the ball is dropped. Like it.
What do you mean 12:10?
At night.
It's dropped at midnight.
Yes, but the ball had already dropped. I waited for everybody to get their bearings because it was 2025 now.
I do like to imagine that. So the ball drops at midnight. You have this plan that you've been announcing to the entire party on New Year's, a holiday. You have your own thing going on, which is supposed to be related to the holiday, but really isn't.
No, it's not.
And I can just imagine you waiting for 10 minutes as everybody's like, Happy New Year, doing the normal thing, and you just being like, okay, though, once this settles down,
Yes.
once the holiday that we all came for is over, we can get to, okay, so you waited
That
10
is exactly what happened.
probably the
Yes.
longest 10 minutes of your life.
100%. I was very nervous. It was a big deal.
The thing that nobody cares about.
I was very nervous.
you're like, am I gonna
Everybody
be-
was very excited. People were shouting my name.
Were they?
They were shouting my name. Yeah.
Is that true?
People shouted my name after midnight, because after like probably 12:01, because they were like, "When is this getting started?"
Is that
I
true?
still waited. Yes, I still waited. Just to let everybody, and
It's nice of you.
around 12:10, I had Terrence Pennington and a lot of other people go round everybody up. I stood next to the fence in front of the light,
Okay.
so there's a light on me.
How many
and-
people were watching this?
Maybe about 25 people.
Really? You got 25 people at the party to stop what they were doing to watch you just smoke 5 cigarettes at once?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So, Hannah Carpenter gave me a karaoke microphone. I spoke into it. I gave a little bit of thing. I brought up Dylan Sabiza. Dylan Sabiza gave a speech about how this had never been attempted before, about how crazy and how good I am at smoking cigarettes.
What did you say in your speech?
I didn't really get to do a speech because as Dylan was doing the speech, I was putting all of the cigarettes into my mouth.
Okay. So you got the karaoke microphone, gave it to Dylan
Yes.
to do his speech.
And then my lovely assistant, Hannah Carpenter, I gave her 2 lighters, and she lit the cigarettes. There's a little bit of help. I'm sorry if I'm not remembering who. I think it was Matt Bell helped me out. He was also one of my lovely assistants.
2 blonde assistants.
Yes.
Yeah, look at you.
And I in front of everybody, I smoked those cigarettes, and then I passed the mic around for people to give other speeches.
Okay, what did the other people say?
Daniel Cabral had probably my favorite speech of the night about how he doesn't smoke cigarettes, but after tonight he will start to smoke.
It's very cool.
This is all recorded. It's all been recorded. Dylan's speech has been recorded. Me smoking the cigarettes has been recorded. Amber Lee Frost from the Chapo Trap House podcast referred to it as redneck shit, and she did not want to give a speech. She
Is
said,
that true?
Yes, she did.
And that's why their podcast is actually elitist.
Yeah, because
And-
the podcast is actually I do not believe she's still on.
Well, you heard it here first, folks. The Cool Socialist podcast isn't so cool and socialist after all. Because when a working class guy from Nashville smokes 5 cigarettes, they get scared.
She was terrified.
That's about all you need to know.
She was very terrified. A lot of people were very terrified. I heard many comments of, "We're watching somebody get cancer." I heard somebody say that from far. And if you're listening to this podcast and you said that, I will beat the shit out of you.
Yeah, you can read these Nikes.
Yeah, you can read these Nikes for sure. It was maybe one of the biggest moments of my entire life.
Did it go off the way you wanted it to?
There was a lot of applause when I officially smoked the 5 cigarettes. There was like a decent amount of applause.
Would you say how many people are at this party?
Maybe about 25. So maybe every single person.
It was only
there.
25 people at the party?
At that point, yes. So maybe at that point, maybe 90%.
What, did people leave before midnight?
Yeah, a couple people.
Who would do that?
Matthew Carpenter, my roommate, he left.
Where'd he go?
He left to go back to our apartment at 556 Northwest Moreland.
To be alone at midnight after
Yes.
being at a party?
He had work. He has work today.
That's weird.
But
That's fucking weird.
And even though I had told him I will be smoking 5
So you
cigarettes at midnight.
You told every single person at the party that you were going to smoke 5 cigarettes.
I think some people didn't know, but they still came because everybody crowded around.
Okay.
But people watched. A lot of people were very impressed. It was the only thing. It was captivating. my stage presence was captivating.
Yeah, I mean, it's really cool that you did this. I'm kind of curious. So after you light the 5 and you take the first puff, is then the crowd still just staring at you, expecting you to finish all 5?
Yes, I smoked all 5 to maybe 3/4 of all 5.
And they watched the whole thing?
They didn't watch the whole thing. I kept smoking them after it was done.
You just kind of walked around with like a full hand and one more.
Yes, but I wasn't like making a big show of it.
Whoa, okay.
Yeah, I made a big show of the first couple of puffs, but
But you're not an asshole.
no, I'm not like a piece of shit.
You're not like a guy that would hog attention from an entire party to do that kind of thing.
Yeah, no.
You're not like
I would only do that for maybe 5 to 10 minutes. I would only hog the party 5 to 10 minutes after it becomes the new year.
Yeah.
Because the party isn't about me. It's only kind of about me.
I mean, it's like, sounds like it was like 40% about you.
Yeah, it was like mostly about
I mean, you kind of made it you kind of turned a holiday that the entire world celebrates
into kind of a celebration of Shane's lung capacity.
Yeah. I mean, it's very impressive. And
a lot of people agreed.
I'm assuming you had several offers from women for sex after this?
A lot of the women were with their boyfriends, so I will probably be receiving...
So you were mad?
I will be receiving DMs that's like, can we keep this on the down low?
Have you received any of those yet?
I shall receive them pretty soon.
You're thinking kind of any minute one of those...
I mean, I could check my phone right now and see.
Yeah, check your phone right now to see if any women DM'd you and said, hey, my boyfriend can't find out about this, but I saw what you did last night, and it made me really fucking wet.
So far, there haven't been any.
Okay, that's surprising.
But there should be some kind.
But probably a woman will message you like, I went home and got fucked by my boyfriend, but I just kept thinking about you
smoking those 5
cigarettes.
And if you can smoke those 5 cigarettes, you can probably eat pussy, and then I will probably have to respond with, I'm sorry, my rule is if I am having sex with a woman who has a boyfriend, I won't eat her pussy.
Okay.
That's kind of my rule. If I'm bird dogging.
Is that what cheating? What's bird dogging?
That's when you have sex with a woman who has a boyfriend.
Oh, okay.
But
Can you imagine how pissed you'd be if your girlfriend was coming really hard and you found out that the image she had in her head was you with 25 people crowded around smoking 5 cigarettes?
I wouldn't be pissed because that would be myself.
Because that would be you. Right. I mean, I guess I understand that.
You asked me to put myself in someone else's shoes and I refuse.
Yeah. If you weren't
I don't
do
stuff like that.
Why?
I just don't put myself in other people's shoes because it's none of my business.
Right. Even if it would help you kind of gain empathy, you think like probably not.
I just don't think it's worth my time.
What is?
Smoking 6 cigarettes.
That's a good answer. Well, I thought it was 5.
I'm about to smoke 6 cigarettes. Probably soon.
Well, why don't you just wait for the new year in 2026?
Because I'll have to top myself.
You should do it until 2030. Okay. 2030 you do 10, and then lucky you, 2031 you get to go back to 1.
Oh, interesting.
Because,
Interesting.
I mean, by like 20, when you have to do 10, it's going to be almost impossible to hold them.
Yes, sir.
And you're going to have to smoke half a pack at once.
Yeah, that would be very frustrating. I will say that nobody did tip me from last night, which is very interesting. I did not say anything about tipping me, but I would assume...
For doing that?
Nobody tipped me.
You thought, like, what? Like, you're like a busker? Like, people would come
I thought maybe people would be so impressed they would give me maybe $40, $50.
I wonder how much money we could make if we took you down to 3rd Street and got you, like, an old fedora and set you up with the microphone and then just had you smoke 5 cigarettes and a sign that says, like, I'm smoking 5 cigarettes at once.
Probably... Maybe something like $2,000 or $3,000.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah, well,
you think so?
It's dangerous work.
But you do it.
I do it because I have to.
Anybody familiar with the Shane legacy would be aware that you have been smoking multiple cigarettes at once for the past couple months.
Yes.
Is this have you done this for years? Is this a thing you like? Because
this is a very new thing to me.
Why did this start? Because you will, like, I'd say honestly, it's kind of often. So it's like every 2 to 3 weeks, you'll post a story of you smoking, like, 2 or more cigarettes at once.
Well, I have kind of what some would call a devil may cry, devil may care attitude.
What does that mean?
It means I don't give a single shit.
Okay, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
the devil may care, but... I don't care, because I'm God.
Why would the devil care? What does that mean?
Because
you're doing something bad is why he would care?
Yeah, but he knows I'm doing something bad, and he thinks maybe I can tempt this guy's soul without knowing that I've been purified by the light of the Lord.
Have you?
In some ways, yes.
What are some ways?
I live my life in a way. I live my life in the ultimate good faith. Nothing. I am a slave to the impulses, but the impulses make ultimate philosophical sense.
Do you think God would like us?
God would probably like me.
Why
God
wouldn't
would
he
probably comment on this post that maybe you should stop farting so much.
You think that's what God wouldn't like about me?
About how you fart? I don't know. I mean,
I don't fart a lot.
I've gotten many DMs to ask you to stop farting, and I've decided to finally.
You don't even know how the audio on this podcast works. It cuts out all other sound besides us speaking. So even if I was farting, which I'm not, they wouldn't hear it.
That's. I mean, that's how powerful your farts are, Maine.
No, they don't. It's not even a power thing. They don't even sound. No. I think God would like us.
Yeah, he'd like me.
I don't believe in
I
God,
definitely
but I feel like
believe
if he
God would like
exists, I feel like if we get to the top, he'd be like, you guys lived honestly. You went after what you wanted. You're generally nice.
Not funny, though.
I don't think any kind
God
of...
would not like our comedy.
I don't know. I think it's pretty... I think he'd like it because it's what we like to do.
You don't know God. You don't know what he wants.
I think if God was real, first of all, I don't think a loving God would require your faith in him at all. I also don't really think hell would exist if God was real. But I do think he would have things to say.
Oh, one thing I
think he would hate liars, though.
I want to say about the New Year's party, I do want to apologize to the Jewish community for some of the comments I made last night, and some of the there's yarmulkes. There's yarmulkes at the party. I did put on a yarmulke, and I did drop it on the ground multiple times. I did not kiss it. I did treat their religion like it is some sort of joke, and I want to apologize.
What did you say about the Jewish community?
I said that their religion was a joke, and I don't want to apologize.
Is that true?
No.
Shane, you can't say that at the New Year's party.
Well, it's a new me.
You can't disavow Judaism, a 1,000-year-old religion, at the New Year party.
But I do want to apologize for multiple times dropping the yarmulke on the ground. It got a bunch of dirt on it. It was not appropriate, and I refused to kiss it, which you're supposed to kiss it if it falls on the ground. And apparently, I was not wearing the yarmulke correctly. And the reason I was not wearing it correctly is I would say that I do think all religion is bullshit. So I don't even care about your stupid ass religion. But that's not appropriate to say.
They shouldn't have let you wear it if you're not Jewish.
Well, it was just around, and if something's around, I'm going to take advantage of that.
Okay. I got a map I want to show you. Can I see your Instagram?
No.
I got to show you this map.
What's the map?
I think it's very funny. I'll show it to you. I'll type in the page.
Tell me the page.
It's called World in Maps. You type in that. I got a map. I think it'll be fun to talk about. This is what I'm bringing to the podcast. I want to, while you're looking that up.
The World in Maps, followed by Cooper Light.
Let me see. Okay. Also, just while we're here, I do want to extend a secondary apology from the podcast for Shane's alleged remarks about the Jewish religion. So this is kind of funny.
I apologize for you talking shit about your bullshit religion.
This is what every country says the year is. So most countries follow the Gregorian calendar, so they believe it's 2025, but other countries don't. So like China thinks it's 4,722.
Interesting.
That's what they talk about over there. Ethiopia is funny because they think it's 2017. That's by far my favorite. They're just 8 years behind because they follow a calendar that believes Jesus was born 8 years later or earlier or whatever. And that's just, they refuse to change. So they're like, it's 2017. India makes total sense, 1946, because those guys are acting like it's 1946. They're walking around talking about, let me see them boobs. That's some 1946 behavior. Then you got most of the Arab world thinks it's 1446. Also kind of treating the ladies like it's 1446.
We gonna party like it's 1446.
For some reason, Taiwan and both the Koreas say it's 114, which it is not.
If there's anyone that's wrong there, it is them.
It's definitely not 114. Japan says it's 7.
Well, if you want my opinion, you know what Taiwan's number should be is 4722.
Yeah.
That's how much it should be.
Yeah, I don't support Taiwanese independence in any way at all.
Absolutely. This is not, if you support that, if you're listening to the podcast and you support that, why don't you find a better podcast?
We're for sure a one China podcast.
Absolutely.
I don't care which China it is, but you got to figure it out. The only reason that's still going on is because the other party that lost to the PRC just fled to Taiwan. So they don't even care about Taiwanese independence. They want Taiwan to be part of China too. Now there's a new independence movement in Taiwan to be their own thing, but that's just going to start World War III. It's not worth it to anybody for Taiwan to be independent. So if you're Taiwanese, you're not.
Yeah.
If you're listening to this podcast and you're like, I'm Taiwanese, you're Chinese, and you live in Taiwan.
Look at these. If you're listening to the podcast, look at these.
Taiwanese, suck on these. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
Nancy Pelosi going over there trying to talk about an independent Taiwan is not helping anything.
Nancy Pelosi can stop trying to suck my fucking cock.
Nancy
She's always
Pelosi,
trying to have sex with me and suck my cock.
Is she in your DMs?
She's in my DM saying, I have a husband, but let's keep this on the down low.
But I want to suck your cock because I heard about those 5 cigarettes.
Yes. Well, that's what's crazy. If you're fucking a girl that has a boyfriend, it feels so much better.
Have you done that?
No.
Then why are you saying that? I don't think you would want to do that. I don't think you're that kind of guy at all.
Well, if you fuck a girl that has a boyfriend, you get to think about the boyfriend the whole time and how you're like, he's built this life and you're just destroying it with your cock.
Yeah. Isn't that sad?
No, it's hot.
Is it?
It's hot, like when you cheat on your girlfriend.
That seems sad too.
It's all sad.
Yeah, I don't.
Sex is sad. It's all's fair in love.
Is that Southern flavor where there has to be like a betrayal and tragedy going on?
There's
that
every part
Gothic
of life has a betrayal or tragedy in it. Every atom.
Every atom?
Every atom has a bit of betrayal and tragedy involved in it. It's the yin and the yang.
I don't think yin and yang.
The yin is my penis and the yang is your girlfriend's vagina.
I don't think any of that's true at all. I think all of
Imagine how hot it would be if you were if you were in a relationship and then you had sex with somebody that was also in a relationship.
It's really sad.
That's two betrayals.
People think it's brave to accept that life is suffering. That's an easy out. People are too afraid to accept that there's absolutely no meaning in anything. They don't have the courage to do that.
Cooper, I was just kidding, but Cooper is coming out to say that if you are in a relationship, you should have sex with somebody in
That's not what
relationship
I'm saying.
because you both have something to lose.
That's not what I'm saying.
That's what you're saying.
No.
It's mutually assured destruction.
No, you're just...
And you're mutually assured that both of you are going to come harder than you ever came. Because you're going to think about the person that you love and how you're betraying them.
Do you think people that cheat think about the other person while they do it?
I think some of them probably.
I think they just sort of let themselves get carried away and then they feel a deep shame and regret afterwards.
I feel like, I guess it just depends on like why somebody's doing it. I think a lot of times, I guess that there's like probably a bunch of different reasons people would cheat. I think some people are just turned on by the fact that it's wrong.
Yeah. I just hate those people that are like, well, you know, our marriage went stale, so I cheated. It's like, what? You did something awful because you were bored?
Yeah, I mean, I guess if you're not getting any pussy, though, I get it.
Just leave your wife.
Yeah, but then you're leaving everything and then you owe her half your stuff.
Yeah, ruin your life. Because your life sucks, so ruin it.
I guess so.
Have the bravery to ruin your life. I hope if I'm in that situation, I have the bravery to ruin my life and not be a coward.
Yeah.
Because then you have to live as a coward. That sucks. You have to know that none of your actions mean anything to you. That your own word means nothing.
Oh, so you think it's really... You think that it's cowardly to be married to a woman that you love, but you love almost as a part of yourself, and then fucking 30 years in a relationship, you're in Vegas one night, and then you are like, oh, prostitution's illegal in Nevada, so you drive to the bunny ranch and you spend $1,000 to have sex with the random woman who you don't give a shit about. Like, you think that's pathetic and sad and cowardly?
Yeah, what do you think it is?
All of those things I just said.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, okay, so we're in agreement here. But you still seem to support it. I feel like we're in agreement that it's pathetic, sad, and cowardly, but you seem to think that that is also good.
I think it's the ultimate acknowledgement that life is meaningless. I think to sin is the ultimate acknowledgement of your own powerlessness.
I think it's like an escape of life being meaningless. You're like trying to add something to it by doing something bad when even that action itself is meaningless.
Yeah.
Like if the marriage is meaningless, so's the cheating. So that thing that you're seeing as a big revolt or a big infraction really isn't even that. You're just hurting somebody.
Yes.
Like that concept doesn't even exist. The only thing that exists is that
So-
person's emotions that you're spiking and ruining.
It's like warfare. It's like warfare.
I don't think it's like, I don't know.
It's like to fight for something greater than yourself.
No, I don't. I would not describe cheating as fighting for something greater than yourself. I think it's trying to make up an idea of something greater than yourself because you can't accept
domination.
No, I think it's like
you call it a penile imperialism.
I think people don't want to accept that there's nothing greater than themselves because it's too much, and so they cheat and make up these concepts about it that there's something greater.
What about shooting heroin into your pee hole?
It's just.
What about you're dating your wife for 30 years and then you go to a bus stop and you get some fentanyl and you put it up your pee hole? To you, would that be cowardly, pathetic, and sad?
Well,
you're not having sex with somebody else. You're just putting fentanyl into your pee hole because it feels really good.
Does your wife know?
No.
Oh.
Your kids don't know. But they suspect.
Your kids suspect it?
They don't know what they know something's off, but they don't know what it is. And your wife knows something's off, but she doesn't know what it is.
That is what's crazy about being a kid. You're like, Dad seems weird.
Yeah.
And you don't know that he's shooting heroin into his penis. There's something off about Dad. I think he's tired. Turns out he's shooting heroin into his penis at a Love's truck stop. And then he's having sex with truckers while sniffing poppers.
Damn, that seems awesome, but I don't know why.
What, leaving your wife and family to go shoot heroin in a bathroom, then walking into the lot, making eyes with the guy in a truck, and then letting him fuck your ass while you sniff poppers?
That seems awesome.
And then going home with some poppers that spilled on your hand, and your wife's like, what's that chemical smell?
And you're like, shut up, I have to go to the bathroom for a while.
And you're like, I helped a guy fix his car. She's like, you're such a nice guy. When really you've just been getting plowed by some guy.
All right, I need to go into the bathroom, and I need this towel, and you will never see this towel again.
And you will also never see this towel again.
Damn, this was a really deep episode today.
Maybe we should drive to a Love's truck stop and interview men that are sneaking away from their families to have gay, unprotected sex with truckers who neither of them are on PrEP, so they might be transmitting. They might be transmitting HIV. What used to be known as the disease that there is no cure for.
Yeah,
I think that took a lot of spice.
How do you know if you have AIDS? Like, what are the starts of that? Like, how would you know right now if you had AIDS?
AIDS or HIV?
HIV, I guess.
Well, you start getting sick. People get like a rash. A really bad rash will happen. And then almost like cancerous symptoms, like a lot of fatigue and stuff. But there's also some weird symptoms.
Okay.
Some stuff starts happening to you. But also you fuck a guy unprotected and he says, welcome to the disease that there is no cure for. So that's a part of it.
What song is that?
It's in I think it's in Assassins by the Ghetto Boys.
Okay.
He talks about...
Oh, yeah, because the woman is like, welcome to the disease for there's no cure.
For which there is no cure for. And it's like after he forcibly has sex with her.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I like that song. What's the one where he robs the bank and then the bank teller's like, I'll let you fuck me. And then he's like, if I fuck you, I'll leave here in a body bag.
Because the cops will come and kill him?
Yeah.
I hate when that happens.
If you're having sex with one of the bank tellers because she lifts her skirt up because she's so... Like, she both wants you to not rob the bank, but she also is so excited by the fact that you, express that sort of masculine toughness.
Yeah, I hate when you rob a bank and then everybody tries to fuck you while you're robbing the bank. And you're like, I want pussy, but I'm so busy.
Yeah, I'm busy. I'm wearing a Richard Nixon mask and you're trying to suck my dick.
Stop trying to suck my dick when I'm in this Richard Nixon mask, okay?
You don't know what my face looks like.
Hey, dumbass. You're fucking everything up for me right now. I'm trying to rob this bank. Stop trying to give me pussy.
You don't know what I'm like. You don't know that I feel like my skin is full of bugs because I am sick. because I'm very sick in the head, so I believe my skin is full of bugs and that the money can somehow cure this.
It's funny that there's definitely, I mean, we know about bug chasers. Like, there's like legitimately a small group of people in the world who, when they found essentially a cure for HIV, they were like, "Aw, now my life is stupid." Because it's like, you can't still be a bug chaser if there technically is a cure.
Yeah.
Because if you're like, I can go get cured right now, you need a disease that like truly cannot, there is no way. But if there's a way and you refuse it, then I don't think that's the same rush of old bug chasing. Bug chasing has been ruined by like PrEP and all
with
the new
PC
drugs.
culture, with woke.
Yeah, woke culture ruined getting HIV on purpose to die. You used to be able to get HIV on purpose and die.
And now because of Gamergate, because of Gamergate happened, and now you can't get HIV on purpose to die.
What is that? What has to happen to you for you to want the rush of getting HIV on purpose?
I think it's just a lot of trauma. I feel like it's the sexualization of death. Well, it's probably just the trauma of like being a gay man during AIDS, of like the sort of powerlessness you feel. So you're like you find a way to sexualize your inevitable death.
Maybe that's the coolest you could ever be.
I mean, old like gay men who were gay back then are like the most alpha males possible.
Yeah, they are the strongest people alive. I mean, literally, they like survived a genocide practically.
Yeah.
They're like, all of my friends died.
Yeah.
And I still put on this leather hat because I won't be beat. Getting AIDS on purpose to feel power in a world that wants to kill you, that might be the coolest you could be, to be honest.
You have the Dagnabbit boys salute.
Yeah, way more than Taiwan.
Yeah.
Well,
Bug chasers, we want to close by saying, bug chasers, welcome to the party.
Bug chasers are better than Taiwan. You heard it here first. Thanks for coming, and we'll see you next week, I think, for a special episode.
Oh, very special. All right.